This week, 55 World War II veterans, all from Central Illinois and most from Decatur, took the trip of a lifetime here to Washington, D.C. This was the reception that these Central Illinois World War II vets received when they landed in Washington Wednesday.
The welcome that we received in coming in the airport in such genuine enthusiasm.
The vets also received a hero's welcome from another World War II hero, Senator Bob Dole. Dole says the reason he makes a point to visit with the veterans
is to say thank you, because most everybody who comes, well, they all serve their country. They're all heroes as far as I'm concerned.
They're taking the heroes to their memorial. This is yours.
What is humbling about it, it's too bad that those that didn't make it couldn't be here to enjoy what we're enjoying.
Never expected anything like this at all. It indeed is beyond any imaginative thing that you could think of.
That chokes me up.
In Washington, Scot England, NBC News.
In the movie The Informant, our Scot England played himself as he interviewed Matt Damon, who portrays Mark Whitaker. This week, in exclusive reports, Scott talks with the real-life Mark Whitaker.
At age 32, Mark Whitaker was the youngest divisional president in the history of Archer Daniels Midland. In 1992, he began working as an informant with the FBI as they investigated price fixing by ADM. But 3 years later, it was Whitaker who was being investigated, as ADM accused him of embezzlement. A short time later, Mark Whitaker attempted suicide, and he ended up going to prison for 9 years. So where is he now? We found him living a quiet, very happy life in Florida.
It was really 3 or 4 individuals that got very greedy, myself included. So it was guys at the top that really took advantage of the company and got involved with, some of them got involved with price fixing, some got involved with price fixing and fraud like myself.
After his release from prison, Mark and Ginger Whitaker rebuilt their lives here in Florida. Ginger became a kindergarten teacher, and Mark joined a biotechnology company. Unbelievably, almost no one knew of Mark Whitaker's previous life, working undercover for the FBI. At the same time, he was stealing $9 million from ADM. But their friends, co-workers, and neighbors would soon find out about that life with the release of the movie The Informant.
No one in this town knew where we were. We've been in this town like almost 6.5, heading towards 7 years. The day the movie came out on September 18th, people started connecting the dots.
Mark Whitaker, Secret Agent 0014.
But you may be surprised to learn what Mark Whitaker thought when his very serious and very tragic life was turned into a comedy.
We were fine with it. For us, there was nothing comical about it in our real life. It was emotional to watch it and to see a lot of the crazy things that I did back then.
One of those crazy things came when Mark Whitaker visited our WA&D studios back in 1995. On the air, he told us a completely fabricated story about how he had been kidnapped.
No, they had the locks sawed off, so there's nothing you could pull up. So there's no lock you pull up.
Roll down?
No.
At the time of that interview, Mark Whitaker was coming unglued.
It took that point of time when I was doing that interview, because a suicide attempt happened sometime around that interview.
Today, Mark Whitaker says it was a combination of his own greed and his mental health issues, including a bipolar disorder that caused what he calls the perfect storm that led to his downfall.
A perfect storm that created some tremendous chaos for Decatur, the company, and my family.
But Mark Whitaker has no chaos in his life today. But he does wish he could go back in time and change a few things.
I admit to them about all the mistakes I made, and I regret the mistakes I made, and I wish I could do it over, but I can't. All I can do is move from this day forward.
And we'll have much more of our conversation with Mark Whitaker tomorrow. And you'll hear from his wife, Ginger. Mark says it was his wife who talked him into exposing ADM's dirty laundry. And he says it was his wife who saved his life after he was sent to prison. But what does she have to say? Ginger Whitaker talks tomorrow.
This is going to be my first time back.
Zach Osgood is now well enough to return to the basketball court, but for some reason he could find none of his teammates. They were with us at the Trends Hair Salon.
We were going to be bald.
They were going to be bald, all of Zach's teammates, and almost 40 players from the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade ball teams.
We want to get it just like our friend Zach because he has cancer.
We would just like to help him fight through it. We wish this would never, ever happen.
It's very heartwarming. Kind of leaves me speechless, actually. It's just amazing that they do that for him.
Guys, you look good. Zach's going to be surprised, isn't he? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. To welcome back Zach, they had one more surprise. Before he had seen anyone, Zach was asked to introduce his team before the big game.
I need you to call each one of their name out, okay?
Josh Hickman.
As he called each name, he watched each player, each friend, run out on the court, bald. And then the team presented Zach with the 3rd place trophy they had recently won.
I think that they're real good friends that they shaved their head because of me.
In Clinton, Scot England, News Center 17. You never know who you'll run into here in Washington, D.C. Elizabeth Dole joins us. Mrs.
Yes.
Dole, why is it so important for you and your husband to come here and meet the veterans?
You know, these are the men and women who literally saved this country for freedom. They saved the world for freedom and democracy. And I don't want young people to ever start to forget what happened with World War II. And of course, these are people that you just want to honor and pay tribute to. In fact, my brother was in World War II. He was on the Saratoga, was in the Navy, and he passed away last year. And in his memory, I'm going to sponsor a John Hanford Memorial Honor Flight on October 20th,
wow.
Which I think will be a nice way to honor his memory, but also to honor all these veterans who literally saved this country.
You get, the veterans get a lot out of meeting you, of you surprising them and being here today. You get a lot in return.
Oh, it warms my heart. And you know, I'd listen to many of them have a chance to tell me a little bit about what their experiences were in the war. And it took a long time to get World War II veterans to open up about their experiences. And now I think, you know, they're more willing to share, and they want to talk with you about it. And it's a joy for me to be able to listen and to honor them for what they've done. It's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Wayne, come over here, Wayne. Just sit right here for just a second. Wayne, it is a long way from Decatur, Illinois to Washington, D.C., and look who we have in between us, Elizabeth Dole. How about that?
Tell you what, she's a lot prettier than you are, too.
You see what I have to put up with?
But aren't you pleased to be on this flight, too?
This is a highlight of my year.
It just warms your heart so. My husband, I think he's probably been here to meet veterans about 70 times by now.
I know many
And it's
times.
my privilege to be able to come with him now.
Thank you very much.
It just means more to us than it could ever mean to them. It's just a chance to say thank you for what you've done for our country, you know?
Thank you very much.
God bless.